Hey, thanks for dropping by to the Planners on Purpose podcast, created by Naomi Tucker, CMP. Now, this space is for the event planners to encourage and empower you so that you can fully live your life on purpose. So before we dig in, please take a moment to subscribe so you get future shows. Now, here she comes, your host, Naomi.
Well, hi, everyone. I hope you're doing great. This is Naomi Tucker with Planners on Purpose podcast, and I'm excited to be with you today. I would say I hope you're having a wonderful spring. Actually, I do hope that you're having a wonderful spring. It's just that in Wisconsin, spring is just taking its time. Like, for example, today when I woke up, it was literally a blizzard outside. I mean, what gives? So I just need Mother Nature to just come on with it, give us some nice weather with the sun shining so we can take walks and do the spring thing. I know it's coming. We got a little taste of it, so I am pretty sure it will be here soon. Well, friends, today I wanted to talk a little bit to you about the power of focus. And the reason why I wanted to talk about it today is because I do Monday morning chai and chats. Yes, I said chai and chat. It's because I love chai tea. And if you're not in the Facebook community, it's an opportunity for you to get in. Why don't you come and join us? It's right on Facebook. Just Google Planners on Purpose and you'll see the group. So come and join us. But every Monday, I just have a little bit of a mindset session. It's really short. It's 10 minutes or less. And recently I did a particular chai and chat on the power of focus. I just really wanted to bring this to your attention because I know sometimes when we're struggling like with burnout, with procrastination, a lot of that can be helped by focusing intentionally on what we have on our desk. And it could be hard, right? Because sometimes we have a whole heck of a lot on our desk and it's hard to really sort it out. But it all comes down to picking that most important thing, focusing on it, and really giving it some time to get it done. So for those that don't know me, let me take the opportunity to introduce myself. I am Naomi Tucker, event professional turned high performance coach, and I'm helping you through the big stuff like burnout, overwhelm, and advancing your career as a meeting professional. I intentionally work with ambitious leaders in the event planning space to build effective time saving and leadership strategies so that you can manage your many commitments and love the life you live. I empower you to be a planner on purpose. And to live on purpose means to be intentional, to develop self-mastery, to be confident in the vision and goals you set for your life, and be a force in moving forward to keep them. That's a planner on purpose. In this podcast, we highlight those intentional steps we can take in our lives. We include stories of other event professionals and some strategies that will help you on your self-discovery journey. So it's a little bit of everything. So I welcome you. Thank you so much for being here. We're going to talk a little bit about the power of focus and how important focus is. I was grading papers today. You may be like, Naomi, why are you grading papers? But it's grading papers because I also support a local college with the meeting and event management program. I also am having students that are getting through specific curriculum. And sometimes, as you may know, you might have teacher friends that tell you, the grading papers is so much of a task. And it's probably so much so that many people really don't want to do it. They probably wait until the last minute to do it just because the task itself is like, ugh, do I really have to? But that's probably how we feel with most of things that are going on in our lives, right? There's that budget that we have to get to, but our client's not getting back to us, or the detailing that we have to do and putting all the logistics together for our event. And our client has so many logistical moves and moving parts that you just don't want to put it all together, right? Sometimes there are those things. And it's really helpful for you to know that focusing on whatever you have in store or in front of you is really important. And that just kind of goes to the first area that I wanted to talk about was why focus, right? It's so easy to procrastinate, isn't it? It's so easy to procrastinate. It's so easy to just put it off. It's so easy to work on something else and get something else done. So focusing is something you're like, why should I do that? Never mind, hey, the client needs it, or never mind, the hotel needs it. It's in your mind, you really are like, oh, do I really have to? The answer is yes, you do. But focusing helps you to put direction. Your focus really determines the direction in which you want your work to go, right? So let's just talk about, maybe we have specific goals that we set up for ourselves towards the beginning of the year. And now that we're in second quarter now, I'm pretty sure those goals, they may be shot for some of you. Some of my overachievers are probably like, oh no, I'm still on track. And that's good. But you want to make sure your focus determines your direction. Look at where you're going, because that's where you're going to go. Like, where you're going is where you're going to be looking. So you want to make sure that your direction is in the area that you want to go. So with whatever you're working on, make sure that it is something that's in the direction, because the reason why you probably haven't started on that thing is it could be because it's not going in the direction you want to go. And if that's the case, then you really need to either, one, get it done right away so it's over and done with. Number two, perhaps delegate whatever that thing is. And number three, make sure that you don't get any of those things again by some way. Next, why you should focus is just your concentration. So sometimes we procrastinate on the problems, right? I know as a leader, you are constantly inundated with different problems that might come from your team. And typically your team is going to be good until they have a problem. And when they have a problem, since you're the leader of the thing, maybe you're the leader of the meeting, or maybe you're the leader of the department or the account, when they come across a problem, then they escalate that problem to you. And many times it's easy to procrastinate on the problem, but problems require our concentration. So in order to solve a problem, you are going to need to concentrate and think deeply through it. For example, if you have email that you're working through, you can get through some of the email relatively quickly, but you'll come across those particular emails that list out a problem that's going to require you to have to think about it. Don't let those go to the side. Specifically designate a period of time during the day that you're going to think deeply and concentrate on those kind of problems. Another reason why we focus is just emotion, right? When we have an intense emotion on anything that's going on in our desk, our feelings are going to really follow like what our focus is on. So making sure that you have good emotion around those particular items that you're looking to get done is very key in making sure that our focus goes there, right? So if I'm feeling dreadedly bad about completing something, whether it's detailing an event order for a hotel, if it's just really annoying me and I don't want to really do it, my emotion is really dictating how my focus is going to be. So making sure that our emotions are okay about a thing, that it's good, that it's positive, is going to allow you to focus even more. And then finally, similar to emotion, another reason why you need to focus is because your energy. I hear it said all the time, where your focus is, your energy flows. So you want to make sure that you're doing that. When you're focused on achieving your goal, you need to make sure that your mind is really set on focusing on that thing. It's really putting intention on it, putting on your calendar, making sure that you do it, and following through. All right. So that's all about like why you focus. And a lot that I get is, okay, well, how do I do that? How do I actually focus? How do I actually do this, Naomi? It's really, really hard. I have distractions and everything coming my way. Well, I'm going to give you some tips on how you can actually focus as well. Now, focusing, there's this pregame, right? Do you know when the players, basketball players, you choose it, basketball, football, you choose whatever sport, but before they get on the field, there's a whole pregame warm up. that typically happens, right? They probably are texting each other before the game saying, hey, I'm so excited about the game. We're going to do this. We're going to kick butt, whatever, right? And they probably get to the locker rooms and they're just pumping each other up. They're getting dressed. They're getting in the mood. They probably have music and energy before they actually get out on the field. And then if you've ever been to a game, recently I've been to a soccer game with my sister in Chicago. But when you get on the field, they just get on the field and everybody is just like, yay, they're screaming at the top of their lungs. Everybody's excited. They are just pumped and they're ready to do the work. This is the pre-work, my friends. This is what we have to do to get ourselves pumped up in order to do the work, in order to focus. So I would say when it comes to how you do this thing, how you focus, is that you do some pre-work, right? And how that is that before your day, maybe when you wake up in the morning, maybe you're doing some type of a morning routine, right? And that could be journaling, and that could be prayer, and that could be meditation. Those can be a lot of different things that you probably do, right? Include just some really positive thoughts about your day in there. Understand what you have to work on before you're working on it. You don't want to sit down at work and say, oh, okay, what do I need to do? No, you need to plan. You need to know when the game's going to start. You need to know what you're going to be working on. You need to know all of those things. So making sure that you have a nice to-do list would work awesome about your day and what you're going to do. And make sure that you review that during your time in the morning and even before you leave your desk at night. Just kind of preview, okay, this is what I need to set my mind on to do tomorrow. Get yourself pumped up, review it in the morning, make sure that you have a nice healthy breakfast. That's another way of focusing. And then making sure that you have good energy in your space, which is your attitude, which is your environment in your home. Do all the things you need to do in order for you to focus. If you need fresh air coming in the windows, then open your windows. If you need your favorite song, do that. Make sure that you do all the things that are going to be uplifting, are going to be positive, are going to encourage and support you getting things done. And then finally, what you can do is eliminate distractions. Eliminate all your distractions. And, that's easier said than done, right? Because some of you have a lot of distractions, and that is precisely the problem. And I get it because it can be very hard, but we all have different types of distraction that's going on. And you know what? Sometimes these distractions are there because they know you need to get something done. It's a weird thing that happens, but distractions appear, especially when you're really trying to put some intention into a thing that you need to get done. So making sure that you're intentional about eliminating it, setting the field for where you are going to play that day is going to be very, very important. And I'm going along with our sports analogy. So stay with me. You can have little people checking in, meaning babies and kids in your home. We need to find a place for them to go. So if they're not in school or anything like that and they have to be at home, understandable. But when you're working, you do need to try to eliminate distraction, especially if it's something that you need to get done. So find some ways in order to encourage those little people to little loves of yours to watch TV or do something or have someone to be able to support them while you're getting your thing done. All right. You also may have something that might come up that looks like it's something you need to do. I kind of call it somewhat of a smoke screen. So perhaps there is an email that comes across your desk before you actually are getting into your set time for you to do the more important thing. And it seems like it's pressing, right? And it seems like it could be more important than what you're doing. Definitely evaluate those things really, really well, because most of the time it's really just a smoke screen for you to not do what you're doing. So make sure that you're deciphering that well in your world. Sometimes there's those fires, those little scares that come up that say, oh, all hands on deck, you need to do this. Again, make sure you're evaluating those. Do I need to do it now? Can I get it by the end of the day? Can I call that person in 20 minutes? I will be doing something important for the next hour. Is it okay if I get back to you then? These are all areas where we can actually avoid some of those scare tactics that come up. And it's not necessarily like someone's really trying to scare you into not getting your work done. But sometimes what's important to others really isn't important to you at that moment in time. So you just want to make sure that you're evaluating that so that you can move on with the work that you're doing. And then finally, sometimes those distractions can just be an invitation to get you out of your nice tranquil space. So you definitely want to protect your energy, protect your mind in how you're coming into the space of getting what you need to have done. And if there's anything that is about to come in and affect that, you need to really put some boundaries around it. And that could just be with having a brief conversation so that you can get back to what you're doing. So I say all this to say, put this protective bubble around your time, around your space, so that you can get those things done. And that is what's going to help you to focus. And there is power where you focus. And when you get things done, you get more things done, and you get so good at it that you can be this master producer, and you're just getting it done and knocking it out of the park. And that's where I want you all to be. So I really hope that you enjoyed this. If you did, please make sure that you go ahead and follow and rate this podcast episode. But I really appreciated you all being here, listening to me, and I cannot wait to see you on the next episode. So until next time, have a wonderful, wonderful week and stay on purpose.
Well, that wraps it up for this episode. If you enjoyed the conversation, hit the like button and tell us how much you enjoyed the show by leaving a message in the comments. Thanks for listening, and we'll see you next time.